All right, so we're hanging here at Big Music Fest 2012. Jay, Scott, Robin, Mike from Rival Sons doing the hang with us. I don't know where we want to really start. Like, I want to talk about Pressure and Time, but I know that you guys have a new record that's on the horizon as well. It's a bit of a hike for you guys. I mean, it's so great to see you guys impacting here in Canada, being a band from the United States. What's been the reception been? What's the reception been from everybody north of the border? They embracing the band, the sound?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been really lucky. Yeah, we came here the first time to Toronto. With the race series, race series. We were traveling with them.
It was like last fall, right?
Last fall, yeah.
Yeah.
And we fell in love with the place ever since then. So it was kind of like a lucky situation that we started to get embraced here after that.
Yeah.
Also, point of interest, I grew up in Unionville.
Yeah, I heard you say that before. You got to keep that on the down low in these parts, right?
Fine, I'm from Toronto.
People in Midwestern Ontario, we're rolling off the 519 here. You start getting called a city at just...
Well, 905 gets
Very cool. So, I mean, obviously the connection for you, Robin, is pretty close to home. How neat is it then for you to come back and you see, how much the band is being embraced, kind of as the hometown?
It's awesome. I mean, it wasn't any of my doing, It's not like that's common knowledge, really. But first time I played the Horseshoe with this band. I never played the Horseshoe.
And that is such an iconic venue. I mean, growing up in Canada, Rush, the Tragically Hip, the Rio Statics, the list goes on, and it's that it's Canada's version of the whiskey, right? So,
better.
Yeah, a little bit. We can. Don't worry, we're not going to send this to LA and show lots of people in the United States. So, okay, Pressure and Time. Let's talk about first the single. I mean, obviously it's a great track. When I listened to that the first time, I listened to it and I thought, holy, this could be out on the tiles, man. Just the...
Never heard that before. Out on the tiles. What do you think, Robin?
Huh? These tiles are nice.
but the thing is, I mean, when I listen to it, it's got that vintage sound. It's got that loud arena rock sound, circa 1973. But it's just got such a nice fresh twist. Now you guys put that record together really quick, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like just under 3 weeks.
3 weeks, 20 days.
Yeah, wrote it, recorded, everything.
Now explain that process in making that record, versus Head Down.
I mean, we have a record called Pressure and Time that we made first. We have Before the Fire.
Yeah.
And then the EP, Pressure and Time. We made all of our records, including Head Down, the same way. We basically write them and record them live, kind of on the spot. So we go in every day and we're mic'd up and ready to go, and we just kind of formulate a song as the day goes and then finish it before the day ends.
Is it EP we did in what, a week?
EP is different.
Yeah.
We actually wrote
5
those songs,
days
but same thing, we recorded it live.
So that raw, emotive, off the floor feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. There's so much of our favorite rock and roll throughout time. It's live, clearly live, and very inspired and off the cuff. And to this time, nowadays, so many rock bands are so overworked, and you can hear in the song that it's been overworked and overthought, and it sounds kind of processed, And
well, and again, sorry to cut you off, but you work so hard in the studio to perfect that sound, and then it never comes through when you're playing it live.
Sure, yeah. I mean, my feeling in the studio is if you're not going to get it in 4 takes, it's going to be like 40.
Yeah.
So we just go with the 4 takes.
Yeah,
cool.
we put ourselves in that position, very intentionally, just to not give ourselves room to second guess.
And we're lazy.
We're lazy, and unless there's a hot coal under our butts,
and we couldn't afford more
We would
studio
never get
time,
it
so we had 3 weeks to get.
if we didn't make a record in 3 weeks, we would take 3 years.
Now, versus Pressure and Time, when you guys are making Head Down, the headspace for you guys, because obviously the first little taste of success, Pressure Time here in Canada goes top 10. All of a sudden, everybody wants to see this band, Rival Sons, this band out of LA, lots of buzz. Did you guys feel any pressure when you guys were starting to think about a new record? And I know Jay, Mike, and I were talking too. You're already talking about the next record beyond that.
Yeah. And I don't think any of us felt pressure. Just
Beyond the normal.
Yeah,
pressure.
like we play music. We do it every night. We have the good fortune of being able to travel all over the place I do that. So I think that for us, our music and what we do, we try to keep it as fluid as possible, you know, within reason, you know, because we're still a breaking band. We still keep in mind that we need to keep song structures together somewhat and all of that. But I think we were all just really excited to get back into the studio and go, wow, you know, what can we do?
I mean, we were
what
all
are we
really,
capable of?
We're all really conscious that this record had more expectation and a bigger audience than anything we've done on any level in any bands that any of us have done. So we knew that that's there, but there's not really any time the way we do it to worry about it. If we were going to spend 6 months in the studio, that gives us a lot of time to vacillate and second guess and think. The way we do it, there is that expectation that is in the back of our head, but really it's like throwing the ball. So it's all you're doing is passing and catching it so like quick before you know it, we're done and going on.
So outside of the regular nervous anxiety before you head into something, it was all about a stream of consciousness, just the awareness, as opposed to being, you know, feeling pressured or feeling, you know,
I mean,
freaked out about it.
There was less pressure and there was more of just what we wanted to deliver. Like, you know, we know what we need now. We've been on tour for a year straight. We know what's happening live. We know how people received the last record. This is what we want to do now. This is what we want to fill in the gap or whatever with, you know.
Tell me about Manifest Destiny Part 1 and 2, because Mike and I talked about this before. You know, this is for me kind of a harkening back to some of those great records, you know, and we're talking, you know, now in an era where people not necessarily buying into bands and buying into the music per se, but buying into one song. You can go to iTunes and it's been great for a lot of artists, but at the same time, you know, for purists, it's killed that experience. But you know,
it's killed the rock. It's killed the album.
Well, exactly. You know, the days of, you know, and I love what you guys are doing with the album artwork, and I want to talk about that in a few. But you know, I mean, you guys kind of were able to spread your wings a little bit more and really jam out on some of those tracks.
I mean, both of those tracks are basically live, and even, you know, especially I'd say Manifest 1 is a live take, and then like that whole middle guitar section, that's one pass. You know, that's something we couldn't overthink. It's something we just opened up all the doors, played in a room together, and kind of had an idea of what was going to happen there, more or less, like what we wanted to emotionally put on there. No idea, like, beyond that, what path it was going to take. It's quite improvised and raw and off the cuff. But we were happy to make something that spread our wings basically from playing live for a year straight, going, we like playing 3-minute, 4-minute songs, whatever it is, but we really need something, because we open up live on all these tracks anyway. Let's create something on the album that reflects the live show a little bit more.
Nice. No, that's great. Now, September 17th, is that the working date for release for the album? Excellent. No, that's great. We'll pencil that in. Looking forward to seeing you guys on stage in a couple hours. So we're going to let you get back there and get set up. But really looking forward to it. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Really appreciate it. And thanks for signing the Toronto Blue Jays cap. It's really classy.
Well, hey, man, thanks for having some Yanks out on this show. We're very conscious we're the only ones, so that's very cool.
Beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Sick. Thanks, Craig.